Piero della Francesca is good at conveying the intangible. This is the resurrection of Christ. And this is in a town hall, so this is unusual. It's not in a church. And the town is named San Sepolcro, which means the sepulchre. So it's interesting and very fitting subject matter that it is Christ coming out of this tomb after his resurrection to greet us with this very straightforward stare. He's got quite a disturbing, passive eyes, as if he has just seen death and come back from the grave. The other things that we have here in this painting, we've got some figures that are in front of the tomb. These are guards. Maybe they're asleep. They have kind of fallen over. They maybe are weeping. Feels a lot like the disciples in the Garden of Gethsemane when he asks them to pray. So maybe reminiscing that as well, but that's just my guess. We also are in an architectural scene. Notice that we're looking through 2 Corinthian columns. We have Christ and the figures in the foreground, but we also have a background. And we have a winter scene where there are bare trees on the left and a spring scene where there's trees that are budding on the right. So this is a rite of passage, a time of rebirth when Christ has been resurrected from the dead. Christ in his right hand holds a flag, and this is a standard with a cross on it, symbolizing victory. So he is victorious over the tomb. The message of this painting is to be ready, to be watchful. Don't be like the soldiers at the bottom who are asleep. If you are ready and watchful, you can have a conversation with Christ. And something to note, the bottom soldier here is thought to perhaps be a self-portrait of Piero della Francesca. Another painting by Francesca is Enthroned Madonna and Saints Adorned by Federico da Montefeltro. Really long title. If you want to just remember Brera altarpiece, that would be fantastic. This is a scene that we're going to see a lot of enthroned Madonnas in the Renaissance time period. But this one is unique because she is in this large architectural setting with an entourage of people. Notice how half of this whole scene is architecture and the rest are people. Everything is very tactile as well. There's 3-dimensionality here. Everything feels like it's lining up with one-point perspective. It's a crowded space. There's not a lot of empty space except in the left foreground here. And if you remember, we looked at the profile portraits of Federico da Montefeltro and his wife, Battista Sforza. So that empty space is a spot where she should have been, but she passed away. So he is the patron. Federico is in the foreground here, kneeling and adoring the Christ child. He is dressed up in his warrior gear, but he is demonstrating himself as a Christian. We also notice something else that's a little bit unusual in this particular scene. We have a mollusk shell and then an egg that is hanging from that shell. The egg has always, especially an ostrich egg, has always been a symbol in Christianity during Easter, during Christ's death and then resurrection, as a symbol of Christ breaking out of the tomb. So they would oftentimes hang eggs in churches. So that's why this is referred to here. But notice that the shape of that eggshell is kind of repeated and echoed in the shape of all of the faces of the people that are here. And this is oftentimes referred to a sacred conversation. All of these people that are here, it looks like they are in kind of their own world. There are a few people that we can sometimes recognize. We have Saint Jerome, who is relatively unadorned. We also have John the Baptist, who oftentimes is clothed in green and has dark skin and long hair, and oftentimes very skinny. Hermits don't oftentimes have enough to eat. Piero della Francesca is really good at rendering real things with an emotional side of the story. And this message is of loss and hope. The egg being a symbol of Christ and resurrection, and also of Battista and Federico, that he has lost his wife, but he still has hope in Christ.